Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. So in this video I'm going to show you how you can make some nice wood stain out of simply some rusty nails and some white vinegar. Right guys, so I've got some rusty nails which I get out of a lot of pallets that I break up when I'm doing projects. So I've got like hundreds and hundreds of nails here, and many of them are rusty because the pallets have been outside. And I've got some ready here that I'm going to use. So what I'm going to use is some white vinegar. Got a brand new bottle here, and then just a jar. So I've already put a label on it, rusty nail stain. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to add these nails. I'm not sure how many you need. I suppose it depends on how much of this stain you want to make, but I've just grabbed a nice handful. And I'm not sure about the science behind this. Somehow the vinegar reacts with the rust in the nails and creates some sort of a solution that you can use to stain wood. And apparently this has been used for a long time. It was an old method hundreds of years ago. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my white vinegar. So now I'm going to put the lid on and just put it on loosely so that the air can still get inside, and I'm going to leave this for a couple of days and see what we come up with.
So here's day one, day two, and day three.
Okay, so it's been about 3 days now. These rusty nails have been sat in this jar with the vinegar for 3 days. So the vinegar's had time to do its magic on the rusty nails. And as you can see, the nails aren't even that rusty anymore. I think a lot of the rust has sort of melted away and come off the nails. And I've just had the lid loosely on. So I'm going to take the lid off and I'm going to give it all a nice stirring up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to strain it off. I'm going to remove the nails so that I'm just left with the liquid, and then we'll test it out on some wood. So there are the nails removed, and you can see they're now in pretty good condition. Very minimal rust on them. If I'd have left it for a few more days, they would probably be clear of rust. Okay, so that is what you're left with after 3 days of rusty nails being in vinegar. So we're going to try that out now on some wood. So I've got some pine here from a bed. It's a bed slat. I've got some plywood. This is a veneer of plywood. It's actually particle board underneath, but it's nice and light, so it will show off how the stain works. I've got a piece of pallet wood here, pine again, I think, and then a piece of OSB. So that should give a good indication of what can be achieved. Okay guys, so I've got a brush here, and I'm just going to go ahead and paint sort of half of each piece of wood. That's the bed slat there. Now I'm doing this piece of ply veneer. And now the pallet wood, just giving a generous coat. And with me just doing half of a sheet, you'll be able to see the contrast. And there's the OSB board. And that should be fine. Okay, so now I'm going to leave it for around a couple couple of hours or so just to see what happens. You can see there the dry wood and then the wood that I've added the mixture to, and I'll just leave it to dry for a couple of hours and we'll see what we've got. Okay, so now we have the final result. It's been around 2 hours and I've checked and the wood has dried out now, so the stain has dried into the wood. So let's go through the results. So the first one, the bed slat, that has stained it significantly. You can see it's like a light grey colour. You can see the original colour and then the stain, and I even got a bit on my pine piece of wood that I've got underneath these. You can see it's stained that as well. So moving on to the next one, the plywood veneer top, a much lighter wood but maybe a bit denser. The stain hasn't soaked in as much, it hasn't darkened as much, so it's quite a subtle colour. You can see the pale wood and then a nice light grey. Moving on to the pallet wood, and it's really stained it well. See the original wood and then again this dark grey kind of stain. And then on the OSB it hasn't done much. See the original colour and it's sort of just like a patchy grey effect. It doesn't look very good. So there you have it. That is how you make a wood stain using rusty nails and white vinegar. And these are the results. So you'll get mixed results depending on how long you leave the nails in the solution and depending on what wood you use as well. So you get quite an interesting looking stain. And if you're going to use this stain and the item's going to go outside, you'd want to put like a varnish on here or a finish to protect it, because it isn't a protective coating, it is just a stain. So thank you very much for watching. If you found this video useful, please like and also comment and subscribe if you haven't already for more videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.